Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal, the Nootropic reviewer, and I'm going to share my experience in using two testosterone boosting supplements, Tongkat and Fadogia Agrestis, together over the past 12 months. Before actually using these two supplements together, I did try them individually with good success, but I was very intrigued at the fact that maybe there could be some sort of synergistic benefit of using both nootropic supplements together. And this whole field of natural supplements that may boost testosterone levels, surprisingly, very few of them actually work. And that's documented in this article right over here. They actually took 50 supplements that had the intended benefit of boosting testosterone, but very few of them work. Some of those included ashwagandha extract, maca, also Tongkat. And as shown, Tongkat does have an X for increased T, and it does not have an X for any conflicting data. For men, a normal level of testosterone would be between 300 nanograms to 1000 nanograms per deciliter, and for most individuals that have used Tongkat, whether they had lower levels of testosterone or medium or even higher levels of testosterone, they did see some sort of marginal benefit that were good indications that it was improving their testosterone, things like muscle strength, increased libido, or being in a better mood. And in this paper over here, which is fairly recent, they actually compiled a number of Tongkat studies, and they concluded that most of the studies did in fact show that an increased testosterone level was reported. So Tongkat is a herbal remedy that's been used for centuries in Southeast Asia, used for a number of things outside of boosting testosterone. Things like erectile dysfunction, things like helping with fevers and even bacterial infections. And what's neat is this paper even referred to Tongkat as being a potential TRT replacement. Now, I completely disagree with that because there was a time in which I had very low testosterone levels and I had to actually get on TRT. And once I was on TRT, within days, there were benefits that had far exceeded my expectations and definitely did more than a supplement would have. It's talking about increased strength in the gym, needing less sleep, and being in a much better mood, being more positive, even more courageous. Though you could debate that if there was a supplement that came closest to potentially replacing TRT that was natural, it would probably be Tongkat. As shown over here, we have 5 studies showing the effectiveness of Tongkat, specifically in athletic performance and when it comes to body composition. We have benefits with increased fat-free mass, which basically means more muscle or more potential muscle. We have increased hand grip strength, and we have increases in 1 rep max, not just for men, but for women as well. And I've been using Tongkat for about 3 years now. I was introduced to the product because I was looking for a supplement that would help me to boost testosterone levels without having negative side effects. I had pretty good results ingesting Tribulus terrestris, which I've talked about in this video over here, but I was wanting something a bit more effective, and Tongkat definitely did meet and even surpass my expectations. It's really important where you source your Tongkat from. If you don't see good results from one source, then you can consider another source. My favorite, by far, nothing comes even close, is the powder form Tongkat from Nootropics Depot. Even after using this product, I've tried capsules and powders from other nootropic vendors, and the benefits did not come even close. For whatever reason, I respond better to the powder form. Their capsule form doesn't do much for me. I have no idea why, and the powder form also tastes horrible. So a practice that I like taking it with is taking it with like some flavored water. Perhaps it has the right content of urocomminones and uropeptides, which are really important active ingredients in Tongkat. So I'm taking 200 milligrams once per day with the largest meal that I'm having during the day, and I'm noticing good results. Now, there still remains a lot of question marks around Tongkat. For one, this study here done on individuals that were age 18 to 30 showed that they had better benefits with Tongkat improving their testosterone levels during the 4-week mark, but when it was the 8-week mark, their testosterone levels actually returned almost to baseline. And knowing this, you may want to tweak your approach a little bit. There are different ways you can cycle nootropics. You can take very short durations followed by a short break, or you can take them for a longer stretch of time, like 2 months, and have 2 weeks off. And that's how I typically use a lot of nootropics, but knowing this, I'm sticking to shorter cycles and noticing better results. Side effects you should watch out for with Tongkat include increased aggression, irritability, and even headaches. I've seen some users even report experiencing Tongkat headaches several days after ingesting the product. From my experience, provided that you have your Tongkat along with the meal, you should not experience some of those negative side effects. But if you were to take Tongkat in a fasted state, you will feel very irritable, you'll experience some nausea coming on, and headaches, of course, are very common. So for me, I take my Tongkat 15 minutes prior to the largest meal of the day, and I almost notice like after my Tongkat ingestion, it's like my blood pressure drops a little bit, I feel a bit lightheaded, and then I eat my meal, I feel good. Now let's talk about Fadogia Agrestis. Now, I initially started taking this product for the intended benefits being increased testosterone levels, being able to build strength, and also help with stress resilience, meaning that I would be able to have a capacity to tolerate even more stress than I typically could have. Now, initially, I was very hesitant to use Fadogia Agrestis because of the potential toxicity. There have been some very interesting studies that were done actually on rats, none done on humans, but these studies actually revealed more negative than they revealed positive. Things like cell damage, things like like potential liver toxicity. So it wasn't until many other individuals started using Fadogia Agrestis with some success for me to be enticed to actually try it. And then of course, Gorilla Mind released a wonderful product which had the right content of Fadogia Agrestis and Tongkat Ali in one product. And then of course, it's human nature. If such a great product line is going to release this product, you have a little bit more trust in taking Fadogia Agrestis, knowing that others are ingesting it, and I was very excited to try it. So Fadogia Agrestis, just like Tongkat Ali, is a naturally occurring supplement. It's not a man-made nootropic. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the safest thing, but some examples of man-made supplements out there are things like Adderall, modafinil, or paracetam, which I've talked about across my channel. And unfortunately, if you look at research done on humans with Fadogia Agrestis, we virtually have nothing. We have one study that was done on animals, which was mentioned in Andrew Huberman's podcast.
Fadogia Agrestis, which, at least according to the literature that I was able to find, can increase levels of luteinizing hormone and thereby levels of testosterone or levels of estrogen.
But it's very interesting how popular the supplement came out of nowhere. There are some anecdotes showing that individuals did use Fadogia Agrestis and had actually reported their blood work seeing good improvements. But from my experience, I saw marginal benefits, if any benefits, and they say that your testosterone should actually increase by about 50% for it to be noticeable. That being said, I'm very sensitive to supplements. I should feel something working. I did notice Fadogia Agrestis working a little bit at the beginning. I wasn't taking it with Tongkat Ali. I took it independently to see if it was doing anything. I was taking about 400 milligrams per day. Now, if you're new to Fadogia Agrestis and you're somewhat concerned about potential side effects, then you can of course start off with a smaller dosage of something like 200 to 300 milligrams per day. Unfortunately, I did not experience any side effects when I was using Fadogia Agrestis. The only major complaint you'll see is that people often don't notice it working. And for me, a lot of the times I was questioning whether or not it was working. So when I was using Fadogia Agrestis at the beginning, I could see a slight benefit, nothing too noticeable, pretty similar to Tribulus terrestris. And then when I ingested it alongside Tongkat Ali, they were working very well. I took Tongkat Ali at 200 milligrams per day, along with 400 milligrams of Fadogia Agrestis per day. And over the past year, I've done that several times. I've actually rotated between taking Tongkat Ali by itself and then throwing in the Fadogia Agrestis for about a month, then getting off of the Fadogia Agrestis and just using the Tongkat Ali. And what I had learned was that taking time off of Fadogia Agrestis wasn't as important as it's made out to be. But with Tongkat Ali, it's pretty important that you take some time off of it because you will build somewhat of a tolerance. I think the major question for most people is Fadogia Agrestis even going to work for you? Because from my experience, when I first started taking it, I was in a calorie deficit. I noticed it working. Then afterwards, with a bit of time, I was noticing it working less and less. I had even upped the dosage of like 600 to 800 milligrams per day of Fadogia Agrestis, and I still saw a marginal benefit. So moving forward, I'm only going to continue using Tongkat Ali. I still see good results from it. With Fadogia Agrestis, there could be some other potential benefits like improving skin quality and also helping with quality of sleep, though I haven't noticed those two benefits. I'm somebody with pretty good skin health already, I feel, so I couldn't notice anything happening. Whereas you contrast that with Tongkat Ali, who knows if Tongkat Ali is actually boosting testosterone levels over the long term, but one thing is, subjectively, I definitely feel better when I'm using it. But the key is understanding how to take it, and I would recommend you don't give too much weight to other people's experiences with both Tongkat Ali or Fadogia Agrestis, because both supplements are highly variable between individuals. After using Tongkat Ali and Fadogia Agrestis after 6 months, I thought I figured both these supplements out and understood how to take them moving forward, but I was wrong. And you notice some people will love the supplements, some people will hate the supplements, some people will build a tolerance to them, some people won't. But one thing that you'll find is that you're going to learn from your own experiences, and don't give up too easily with both these supplements. If you have a bad reaction to Tongkat Ali or Fadogia Agrestis, maybe it was just that one time and you've learned from your mistakes. Like for example, I mentioned Tongkat Ali, I was taking it fasted, I made a big mistake, and then I ingested it with the meal. I was feeling a lot better. For me, my favorite testosterone boosting supplements remain to be Tribulus terrestris and Tongkat Ali. I've actually compared both of them in this video over here, and if you did find this video helpful, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, and if you'd like to chat with me one-on-one, you can do so over on Patreon, and be sure to visit our Discord server, which is a 24/7 chat room. We're answering questions in a time-sensitive fashion, having a whole lot of fun. I thank you for your interest in nootropics, and I look forward to seeing you next time.